The largest plantation in America just burned down. Here's an example, another one, and another one. But that's not even the craziest part. Nottoway Plantation was a plantation resort. Could you imagine a Holocaust labor camp being a place you could get a spa day, a massage, and chill by the pool? Well, we don't got to worry about that anymore because Nottoway is gone. Let the tape roll.
This is crazy. So if you look to my previous video, this person is right. So I just moved the picture more to the right. So you see the guy that I was talking about in my previous video. Look right here. That is a whole man, and that man is screaming. Okay? He doesn't look happy. He looks like he's petrified. And let me tell y'all, this isn't an ancestor. Y'all tell me who this looks like. I have my own thoughts. Who does this look like to y'all? Because to me, this could be a premonition. This can be a premonition. That's all I'm going to say. I'll let y'all tell me who y'all think it looks like. But this was in a White House, right? Let me shut up. Anyways, this is crazy. And this person is screaming for their lives. So maybe it's not just ancestors that were at this bonfire. Okay, it might have been other spirits that were locked in this plantation, and they're gonna be released too, but they may not be released up. They may be going, let's just say they're going somewhere else. They're going where the flames will welcome them. Okay, I don't know. That ain't for me to go into, but yeah, I see this, and to be honest, there's way more spirits in the picture. I'm gonna put the original picture back up so y'all can see for reference, and we can talk. This whole photo has several spirits. So I pointed out a few, but there's more. I mean, I'm gonna go into detail because there's another one that I'm looking at right now. Let's just say it's on top of the roof, okay? But there's several, so if you want to share and circle and show me what you see, but there are several spirits at the Nottoway Plantation fire, okay? It was a bonfire. They were cooking up something all right over here, all right? They were releasing spirits. I just hope they're all free to go wherever they need to go, but this was a bonfire, and people were present, and people who were present that weren't of this earth.
Hey y'all, it's Neil with the Black Wall Street Times. Listen, Nottoway Plantation, the largest surviving slave mansion in the South, has burned to the ground. And while some might call that a tragedy, many Black people see it differently. That mansion was built by enslaved Black people, our ancestors. They were beaten, starved, and forced to work under brutal conditions, just to construct that massive home so the slave owner could live in luxury. Fast forward to recent years, and that same plantation was turned into a wedding venue. People were saying, "I do" on the same soil where our people were chained, tortured, and killed. No reparations, no justice, just profit off of our pain. But now, that house no longer stands. And to some of us, it feels like a small bit of justice. It feels like our ancestors finally had the last word. Maybe the wind carried their cries back to the land. Maybe the fire was a message. You will not keep erasing our suffering. You will not keep celebrating what was built on our backs. That plantation wasn't sacred. It was haunted. And maybe, just maybe, with it gone, the land can finally begin to heal and our ancestors can rest a little easier. So no, we're not mourning. Let it burn, because sometimes ashes feel like freedom. Peace, y'all.
Stay with me because there is some things about this resort and 4-star hotel that burned down that nobody is talking about, and my jaw was literally on the floor. It's very clear that it being a museum is not its main focus. It does seem like they've started giving tours again, but this is for weddings and events. They do have a history tab at a drop-down menu. The only thing you're going to find is a list of 16 majestic oak trees that are found on the property. These oak trees are named, and for a brief moment I was like, oh, are they named after enslaved people? Is this like a memorial? No, it's named after the 11 children of the enslaver. As I was combing through trying to find any information on the enslaved people here, this tab for cottages underneath where you can stay caught my eye. Each cottage has 2 individual units with a single covered porch and oversized rocking chairs, and I was like, oh my god, how tasteless to have something like that on the property given the history. No, I don't think these are fresh cottages. I think they repurposed cabins on site with welcoming beds in full amenities. Oh, thank God. Thank God my slave cabin comes with a hair dryer and an iron. Well, there's at least one of these still around, but this is an unmarked photo. There is no information about this photo. In fact, the only time I saw anything that had anything to do with a person of color were these god-awful candelabras. But with this burning down, we lost a haunted wedding venue at best, and it seems like a place that was literally like Airbnb-ing slave cabins.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Nottoway Plantation burns down, and you have people on this internet crying because it burned down? That place was built in 1859 by slaves on the backs and bodies of slaves. And you're telling me right now that people are on this internet crying because it burnt down? Crying because it was a resort? Crying because you can't go there and spend time in a plantation? A plantation where people suffer? This is exactly why those same spirits there, those ancestors there, made sure that that house, that plantation is gone right now today. I say this all the time. Y'all better stop playing with these spirits. These spirits hear everything. These spirits see everything. And these spirits went through a lot. You don't think that the families of these people are hurt anytime they could look and say, you know what? I had a family member that was in that plantation. But y'all people, y'all really something different, man. Y'all are really something different. Know this. If you notice those pictures of that house burning, you can see in those still pictures, it looks like the spirits are there. The spirits, the ancestors, are the reason that that plantation is gone. If you can't respect it, it don't matter. They went through a lot. That shit's supposed to be gone. All of those plantations supposed to be gone. I'ma just leave that like that. I'm out.
I see on here that a lot of y'all upset that Black Americans are celebrating that the Nottoway Plantation burned down in Louisiana. First off, why wouldn't we celebrate it? Why aren't you celebrating? We talking about a place with such dreadful roots until it's unimaginable what our ancestors could have went through on this plantation after they built it. We're talking about them being beat, raped, murdered, hung, worked until their hands bled. And to all y'all who out here saying, oh, it was a beautiful piece of history. What was beautiful about it? What was beautiful about that history? Please tell me in the comments what was beautiful about it. I'm struggling to understand how a place like that would ever be considered a beautiful piece of history. So yeah, we're going to celebrate it. Get your life together.
My opinion, they did not set fire to this place. No. This is the owner right here, Dan Dias. He's a local attorney down there in Natchitoches, Louisiana. You know, this is my area. We used to go where I live down about an hour outside of the city, down to Natchitoches to the lights. You can go up and people hung out in the whole 9 yards. But the history is racist. Everything about this place screams racism. Dan pretty much said he invested everything he had into this, and now it's a total loss. Now, yes, he may have insurance, but y'all got to remember insurance. Sometimes insurance companies don't want to pay you now. You know, he probably tried to rebuild, but not the way he had it. I'd also like to add that this is the mayor of Natchitoches, Louisiana, and he already has faced straight up in his face racism. Yes, there was an event of the swearing in of State Senator Cleo Fields. I know I've met Mr. Fields a couple of times. And Mr. Fields they had a swearing in ceremony for him. The mayor was there. President of Northwestern State University, Genovese or whatever. He pretty much got up to speak, addressed the black man who's the mayor of Natchitoches. You know, where he basically told the black man he had some nerve sitting his ass on the front row when there's white people present. That's Natchitoches for you now. So this fat bastard is right in line with everybody else. Now, fat ass Dan did say that he is not racist. Him and his wife had nothing to do with slavery. And, you know, they're not in a left wing radical anything. And they don't do, but they also don't want to dwell in the past. Fat bastard is racist, yes. Now look at his ass. He got to wait on the insurance company to see if they're going to approve him for insurance payment. Whatever he tries to do won't work. This place will never have as much visitors as it used to be because now the world is looking at it. Speaking of this racist ass building, these are just some of the rooms that they had there rather. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, ancestors, named after the oppressor's sons. So Mr. Dan can go himself with that shit. Room after room. On top of that, fat ass Dan and his wife planted 11 trees in honor of the slave owners' family members. Yeah. Celebrations out the ass. Let's not even get on the cottages, is what they call them. They want to go back to slavery so bad, but they know they ain't gonna make it outside. Don't flag me, TikTok. Don't flag me. Don't talk about some cottages. Man's fat, burly, wide, sitting on his stomach, clogged artery ass mother. Great work, ancestors.
So I keep getting asked about my thoughts and feelings on the Louisiana plantation burning, and I got to be very clear when I say this. 2025 is the year of 9. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. 9 is the year of Oya. Oya is the Orisha that is most commonly known for her serious transformations and changes that she brings. She is also known for hurricanes and great winds. But a lot of people don't realize that Oya is also the keeper, the guardian of the ancestors, the Egun, right? We have to be clear when it comes to this year of 9. This is the ancestors' year. This is the year that the ancestors will return and show who they are and how they really work. Therefore, if you've been practicing your ancestor veneration, if you've been honoring the ancestors and showing respect and reverence for them, you will reap the rewards of the seeds that you have shown. But if you've been disrespecting the ancestors, especially in a way where you are capitalizing on their trauma, you will reap the consequences of the seeds that you have sown. The ancestors will show you who they are in this year of 9. And may everyone be blessed with the ancestral experience that they deserve.
Yeah, I was sad to see the Nottoway plantation burn.
Of course you were. Because you actually do not view what happened there as having happened to real human beings, as evidenced by this tone-deaf response. Every day one of you gets on this app and reminds us why you will never ever beat the racism allegations. Because the amount of people that I've seen saying, oh, that was my favorite plantation. What is wrong with you people? Do you think anyone in Germany has a favorite concentration camp? And the fact that you all think that plantations are these beautiful, picturesque places to hold weddings and events at shows how truly evil and diabolical you all are. You can't help it. So I'm happy that it burned to the ground. I wish the same fate for every last standing plantation, except for the Whitney plantation that does not hold weddings, and they actually tell the truth about what happened there.
They will mourn the plantation before they ever mourn the slaves. They will weep for their wedding venue, their vacation spot, their antebellum resort, and attempt to convince you that pillars built by sweat and blood and sacrifice are more revered than the bodies of its encaptured builders. That pillars built by sweat and blood and sacrifice are more sacred than the descendants of its chains. Don't they know that fire is a holy thing? Don't they know that God speaks through bushes that burn?
Do you know what? That plantation that burnt down recently, all the comments I'm seeing about, what a crucial piece of history, it's just been burnt to the ground, what a shame. People are not acknowledging this is a slave plantation. It was a sugarcane plantation, which was known to be one of the worst types. There was literally a video from March 2025 about this silly plantation. I don't even remember the name of the plantation in Texas, or sorry, Louisiana. And you could see the historical guides and people who were responsible for doing the tours on the plantation, how they were talking about this plantation, how they thought it was such a crucial and magnificent piece of history in the South. These people are mad. Not only that, never in this video documentary did they once mention the fact that it was a slave plantation, right? They didn't pay homage to any of the slaves in which the plantation was built on. It was built on their backs, right? No mention of them at all. Yet you've got people in the comments who are literally sad about this silly piece of history. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. They also spoke to the man who bought the mansion, right? He's a man, and he was saying how he wanted to purchase the mansion to restore it to its former glory. Former glory. It sounds like he misses a time not so far in a distant past in which a certain group of people, black people, were subjugated to all sorts of horrific crimes and torture in certain parts of the world. It basically sounds like they miss slavery. They miss the times of segregation. I say all of this to say I would not be surprised in the slightest if they literally rebuilt this mansion to restore it to what it originally was. But you know what? To hell with it. To hell with the plantation. Fuck them. I think it looks great as it is now. Charred, black and lifeless. Barely 2 pillars standing. Leave it as it is. Good riddance.